Hello, Crosswatchers. This video is going to be quickish. Okay, the future Crosswatcher videos will be a little bit longer, but this is the first of the series. So we're gonna jump in and see from now until mid-May what's going on with your Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to get a feeling for what might be happening in Capricorn's life. Those of you who've had private readings with me, you've heard me say, I don't do any kind of psychic spying. So I'm not going to look into anybody's dirty laundry, but I am going to look into what is in your best interest to know. Like, that's my strategy. What do you need to know to protect yourself? What would be good for that person for you to know about their situation so that maybe you can be, helpful or, understand them better, or for things to work out for everyone's highest good. So that's my approach. That's how I go about it. We're going to see what is going on with your caps, okay? And in a couple of days, I will have the May love readings loaded on the channel for each zodiac sign. So be sure to check those out as well. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 10 of Pentacles, okay? Your Capricorns may be very focused on their financial goals. Not a huge surprise. We know Capricorns are very hardworking. They want to be successful. They're very driven. So makes sense that their attention right now is based on finance. But this is also a positive energy here in terms of things being manifested. So your Capricorn is going through a time of manifesting very, very quickly, okay? Your Capricorn is coming into a time of things aligning for them and happening fairly quickly. They're probably going to be going through a lot of big changes in maybe a short period of time. I also feel, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but I'm feeling very strongly that some of you are dealing with Capricorns, that this person is like in their childhood a lot right now in their mind. Like they're in their feelings over their childhood, they're in their head over their childhood, or they're thinking a lot about their childhood and the way that their childhood has shaped them or affected them, or, cause them to think certain things, or cause them to feel a certain way. And I'm not trying to say that this person had like a horrible traumatic life by any means. Some of them maybe did, because this is a general reading and it's going to apply to a lot of different people. So, but I do feel like they're looking at their childhood and they're understanding, and they're seeing where maybe they had picked up some not so great habits, or they had picked up self-esteem issues, or they had picked up limiting self-beliefs that were causing them to not get the results they wanted in life. So that is being cleared out of the way for a lot of the Capricorns. So they're going to be going through a pretty good come up in the near future, and this might be the beginning of that for them. Next, we've got 9 of Swords. Capricorn may not be seeing it because Capricorn is really stressed out about, where they're going, how things are going. They may still have moments of being very hard on themselves, okay? And they're in a lot of anxiety. This card also came up for Libra, okay? So they could maybe have Libra in their chart, not necessarily, but it is possible. But there's very much this wavelength here of insomnia, not being able to sleep, being very worried about the future. But the thing about 9 of Swords, it always comes up to let us know the things that we're worrying about, there's a good chance they may not even happen, okay? It's just that Capricorn may get caught in some fear or worry energy, and, they might not be in an energy where they're seeing that 10 of Pentacles that came up first. They're not seeing the fact that they're at the start of a come up, and they're having a lot of anxiety around the situation. So those of you who have been feeling like your Capricorn's been really distant from you, or you haven't heard from Capricorn, or you've reached out and they're not getting back to you, they're having some anxiety. They're dealing with anxiety. This card has come up for several of the different signs so far. So a lot of it could be as we're coming into, you know, the energies in the week ahead, as we're approaching whatever is happening planetarily. Again, I'm not an astrology expert by any means, so I can't sit here and diagnose that and say, oh, it's, you know, because of this or because of that. But some of you may have a good idea right now of what's happening energetically within the planets. But anxiety seems to be a running theme for some of the signs. So Capricorn's probably being distant from you, or not responding, or not reaching out, not taking initiative because they're stressed out. And you might be like, well, no, you know, Capricorn's doing really great. Capricorn's on top of the world, or Capricorn just had this positive thing happen in their life, or that positive thing in their life. I know they're not stressed. I know they're not having trouble sleeping, but they are, okay? Something in the spirit is agitated. They're in this place of fear or anxiety, and you know, you might be seeing all the reasons why, you know, they can be happy, but they're a little freaked out right now. They're a little freaked out right now. They're in their fear. We've got Knight of Cups, okay? So Capricorn is wanting to shake out of that. Capricorn is making a conscious effect, like they're realizing, or they're seeing that they're in this anxiety, or they're in this fear energy, and they're trying to come out of it, okay? For many of you, this Capricorn is wanting to step up to you with an offer. So if you have business with this person, or if you have a family relationship with this person, then this is going to be somebody who's wanting to bring more joy and more creativity, more closeness. They're wanting to maybe tear down any kind of walls, or like formalities, and have more of a closeness or connection. I do feel this is a thing happening for all Capricorns, a desire for closeness and connection, but obviously the closeness or connection they're trying to get is going to depend on what the relationship is between you and the Capricorn. So if this is someone where you know, you're within a relationship, they may be wanting to, you know, get some romantic energy flowing in. They may be wanting to like sweep you off your feet, or do something that's going to impress you or make you feel appreciated. They may be having a desire to romance you, and maybe, you know, financial goals are coming in that too, because maybe they're wanting to do something very special for you, or take you to a special place. You know, for those of you who've not heard from the Capricorn, and you just feel very connected to them, they may be getting their life together so that they can come back around and reach out to you, and make you an offer this time around, okay? But, you know, the fact that they're showing up as Knight of Cups and not King of Cups does tell us that this is an energy in which they're maybe wanting to, they're wanting to explore it, but they're also not wanting to be rushed, right? They may not be able to give you a set in stone long-term plan for like the next few years, but for right now, in this moment, you know, or soon to be, they are going to be invested, and they are going to want to see how things play out, or they're wanting to explore something a little more deeply with a little more emotion. We've got the Tower coming up. Okay, so Tower is basically coming out of the comfort zone, coming out of the old way of being. This could be that your Capricorn is moving. This could be that your Capricorn is getting a new job. It can be that something really exciting is happening. It could be a surprise pregnancy. And for some of you, that could be good or that could be bad, depending on, you know, where you're at and what you're looking for right now. It could be a multitude of many different things, but we're going to pull a clarifier here. In what area, mostly, we know this is a general reading, but in what area will Capricorn experience the Tower, and how so? In what way? It's got 1, 2, and 3. They're not happy with the way life is right now. Even if you're looking at them and you're like, Capricorn, there's a lot of really wonderful stuff. You know, you should be happy. They're not happy. Okay, next we have Empress, and we have Nine of Cups. So some wish is going to come true for them, but this agitation, this Agitation, this anxiety, this not being pleased, is going to cause them to maybe step into action and create something for themselves. So they might, get a little bit feisty here in what their expectations are. They may be speaking up around the workplace. They may be, very vigilant in going out there and looking for different opportunities or different things. But overall, this is about being in their creativity. Now, for some of you, it is going to be a pregnancy because the Empress means two things. Well, Empress means many things, but two of the main ones here is creativity, like, success and creativity, but also it means fertility and like that motherhood energy, that making babies energy. So, depending on where your Capricorn is in their life, they're either making a baby or they're creating something that they're going to be putting out to the world, which is like their figurative baby, their symbolic baby, or their creative baby that they're putting out there. So they may not be in the best mood. You may be dealing with a Capricorn who is going to need some alone time. They may be very agitated right now, but it's like something's being born. It's very much like uh, that grain of sand, that gets lost inside of of an oyster shell, right? And over time, it turns into this pearl. They're making the pearl right now. They're dealing with that sand, that little grain of sand that's gone in there, that's just bugging them and poking at them, and they're turning it into that pearl. So that seems to be the energy of Capricorn. Oh, and the outcome, no surprise, is the Emperor. So they're coming into their structure, their desire, their seat of power. Some of them are manifesting, the divine masculine with divine feminine energy. They're calling in. So if this is a feminine Capricorn, they're calling in their divine masculine. If this is a masculine Capricorn, they're calling in their divine feminine. But they're just looking for that stability. They're looking for that energy of that connection, that intense connection, that being together, togetherness, things being established, being successful, being very independent. So these are all very wonderful, strong attributes and qualities that they're calling in. So let's see what Capricorn wants to say to you. What does Capricorn want to say to Crosswatcher? What does Capricorn want to say to Crosswatcher? What does Capricorn want to say to Crosswatcher? Intuitively, I feel this is more about how they're viewing you. Okay? They see you as a very strong, powerful person. They see you as very creative. They see you as very intuitive. They may even view you in some ways as a spiritual teacher. So there's this strong pull towards you. There's this strong admiration towards you. If this is a Capricorn that you dated or you had a romantic connection with, then they are thinking about this pull with you, this pull that they felt towards you, trying to understand it, the physical attraction or the chemistry, or they may be feeling the physical bond. There may be some kind of visitation that you might be experiencing from Capricorn. Like if you have a significant soul contract, soul connection with a Capricorn, and some of you, I'm just going to go out there and say it because some of you, or a lot of people come to me with readings about this, but maybe we don't talk about it a whole lot in the videos. Some people are kind of able to feel their exes intimately. I'm not talking about getting freaky with ghosts or anything like that. But I am talking about like you may almost feel like you can smell them or you can feel them, like you might like feel like in a way that they're haunting you in a way where like you can almost really feel them in a physical sense, even though you know that this is more of a spiritual connection or spiritual force. So they may be feeling things like that about you. Like they might be like, I feel you. Like, I know that you're thinking about me. I know you're reaching out to me, spiritually, or I know that maybe you're like thinking of me and you're sending me good energy. And so they may be feeling like this physical connection with you, even though it could be a situation where there hasn't been a lot of contact for some of you. But definitely this pull, this holding you in very high regard, um very high regard, and you have inspired them to come into their own uh certainty. We don't always think of the high priestess as being a card about confidence, but it is, because the high priestess always listens to her intuition, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. Even if people look at high priestess and say, you have lost your last brain cell, like, what are you doing? This is the dumbest idea. If high priestess feels like this is coming in through her higher self, her higher power, through her intuition and her guidance, she's going to listen to her intuition more so than what anybody else is telling her. And it pays off because she's truly connected, she's truly in the flow. So they may see this about you, and they're wanting to be like you. They're wanting to figure it out. They're working on it. So I think that's something that they want you to know, is that I'm more than what you're seeing here. Maybe you see me as not as spiritual as you, or maybe you see me as not as awake as you, but I am, and I'm connecting with that side of me, and I'm becoming this better person. They want you to know that they're stressed out, that they have some fears that they're dealing with, that they're feeling very overwhelmed with how life is going. I think for some of them, they're just kind of in the struggle of coming into the energy of allowing themselves to receive. And that might sound crazy for some of you, like, oh my goodness, how could you not be ready to receive? Or of course you're going to be happy. But this might be a Capricorn who's like, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to things going well. So I'm freaking out, like, when's the shoe going to drop? When are things going to go wrong, right? So they're in this fear energy. It's hard for them to accept that things may be on an upswing. We've got Queen of Rods, okay? So again, they may be feeling passion for you, or they may be seeing you as somebody who's inspiring them to go their own way. If you are somebody who has started a business, they may be looking at you like, they want to do that too. Or if you're somebody who's really coming to your authentic self and you stopped worrying what other people think, they're like, wow, I want to be like that too. So they're pulling inspiration from you. They're seeing you as some kind of a muse or some kind of an influence. They may not be telling you this, but they're definitely seeing you in this way, and they're maybe taking a few pages from your book here, trying to emulate some of this, or trying to follow in your lead in some way. Okay, they may be desiring or wanting your attention, your help, your guidance, for you to be more a part of their journey, but they may not be reaching out to you, and they may not be asking you for it, because they feel like you're really busy with your own stuff, or that you've got bigger things to worry about, or you've kind of maybe come up and you've forgotten about them. They may be feeling that way about you, but they may just be seeing you as like, they're happy for you, and they know how hard you've worked and how hard you're working, but they might be feeling in some ways that you're just kind of like over a lot of things. Like maybe you don't feel as close, or you just feel very occupied or very busy. If this is a Capricorn that you're dating, that you're already in a relationship with, or that you're already living with, or whatever it may be. They may be seeing you as becoming more and more independent, and like you're beginning to realize that you have other options. And so they may have a strong desire for you. But I'm also feeling in some ways it's just kind of this feeling of like, don't leave me kind of energy. So we got that cat there in her lap, and that cat's making me think of how cats can be. They can be very hot and cold. They want you to cuddle them and pay attention to them, and then when that becomes too much, they'll pull away and they want to be left alone, and you better not, try to touch them. So it could be that they're really longing to be with you, but they're also a little overwhelmed by that fire that you have, the creativity that you have, the power that you have. So they may be coming in hot and cold, and this is why. Like they almost feel like, you're going to go off to something else, that you're not seeing them as something stable, that you're just in this energy of where you're like, this is great for right now, but I got places to be, I got things to do, I've got people to see. So they just feel like maybe you're you're on the go a lot. They feel a lot of burdens. They feel very overwhelmed. Okay. They've been on a journey for quite some time trying to get things together, and they're almost there, and they know they're almost there, but they're exhausted. They want you to know that they're very, very tired, and they're hoping that maybe you're going to see, or you're going to realize that, they have a burden, and they'd like you to help with it, right? Because look, if we think about this, right, if they're seeing you as being in this energy, right, and we've got this guy here, and he looks like this older guy, and we don't know a whole lot about him or his background, but you probably, in those old days, you probably, or even today, you probably wouldn't be, or like somebody who was not royalty, they wouldn't have the nerve to call up to the queen and say, hey, this is really heavy, can you help me with this, can you come here and maybe help me with some of this. So there's this energy, or this feeling of hoping that you're gonna see and you're gonna say something. Okay. It may be coming off to some of you as a little passive aggressive, or you're not sure what to make of it, but this person's just kind of hoping that you're gonna step in and help them with what's going on with their life and with their transformation. But you may have your hands very full as well, especially if you're in the high priestess mode, or queen of rods mode. You may be having a lot of things going on. If you're very, very spiritually in tune, you're probably dealing with a lot of psychic attack energy. If you're an intuitive person, there is some of that going on right now, because I don't know, people are a little feisty right now. I'm not an astrologer. I don't know what's going on with the planets and all of that, but you may have your own things that you're dealing with. So it's not like you're trying to ignore Capricorn because you're being a jerk, but they may not have an idea of, like, they may know that you're busy and struggling, but they probably don't have an idea of how much your plate is full, or what you're dealing with, and they're kind of hoping that you're gonna offer some help, or you're gonna say, oh, let me take care of that for you, or let me help you out with that looks very overwhelming. That's what they wish they could tell you. Oh, and the outcome here, they feel in some ways they need to prove that you all are equals. Okay, that you're not the only one, but this isn't a way where I feel like it's like in your face. Like, I don't feel that. I do feel that they really respect you, and I feel that they really, really feel like, you've worked very hard to be where you are, but they're also wanting to show up and show you that they can be the same, or they're the same way, that, there's a connection here, a real connection between the two of you, that there's that whole namaste thing. Like, they see themselves in you, and you in them, and they're wanting to feel equal to you. So maybe something about the way in which they have you in this high regard is making them feel not as great about themselves, or like they have to measure up in some way. So I'm transitioning into the whole thing here with what you can do to help Capricorn. I would say send Capricorn love and light. You know, if you have time to in your meditations, call their angels around them and help Capricorn to see that he doesn't need to measure up to anybody, or he or she, they don't need to measure up to anybody, that they're already, you know, on such a good path, and just to be able to see themselves in the truth and not in the fear. Okay, so that's the energy that's coming up around that, because they might feel like they're trying to catch up to your Queen of Rods, and they're wanting to show up as King of Rods. So I don't know, I just feel a little bit of like they're feeling left behind. But let's look into what you can do to help Capricorn. So, decision has to be made here. Okay, decision has to be made here. What you're trying to do with your life and what Capricorn is trying to do with their life, it may not be on the same track. It may not be on on parallel roads. So you're going to have to make a decision that's going to require for you to think outside of the box. When we see the Hanged Man, there may not be a lot going on. So you might be busy doing your thing. Capricorn maybe isn't feeling like they can reach out and say, hey, I'd really like you to be around or to help me. And you may be busy with what you're doing. And so things may not be moving forward. But you have to pay attention to the situation. This is the time for you, even if there's not a whole lot going on with you in Capricorn right now. This is the time for you to meditate on the situation, meditate on the relationship, and try to see things from a different light or from a different angle, a different side, because things are going to be manifesting for Capricorn and for you, Crosswatcher, in the very near future. So you need to get very clear about what it is that you want. Okay, you need to get very clear about what it is you want. Crosswatcher, I feel like something is happening for you where as your Capricorn is manifesting and coming into this come up or coming into this better energy and getting over their fears, you have a lot of very similar things happening in your life because you have a very strong soul connection with this Capricorn, okay? So whether it's a romantic soul connection or a business soul connection or, you know, spiritual or something outside of romantic, whatever it might be, because some soulmates are romantic, some are not, okay? It's going to be different for different ones of you. You have this energy of you're on your own come up. And you're going to have a very significant one. And you have one that's coming up, Crosswatcher, that's going to be a really big one because you're having to make a lot of changes in your life to accept something new coming in. So this may be causing you to have to at some point address anything unfinished between you and Capricorn. Okay, I do feel that there's going to be a conversation. I do feel like there's going to be some kind of a new agreement, maybe even a partnership, okay? But I feel like the relationship is coming into a new agreement, into a new set of rules. It's almost like both of you are ascending to a really high level right now, and both of you are going to be manifesting really great things. And so your contract in some way has been fulfilled or is going to be fulfilled very soon. And because we have free will, the universe is giving you this chance to review the contract, much like an athlete playing for a team. At the end of their contract, the team might say, okay, well, let's review our contract. Are we going to go another few years, or if, whatever it might be, few lifetimes? And if so, what do? You negotiate, right? You negotiate what the rules and the terms of the contract are going to be. What both parties are getting out of it, what their responsibilities are. So I do feel there's like this new set of boundaries that you're having to establish with this person. And that doesn't mean that they're a bad person or that they don't have boundaries. It's just you're in a higher energy, so the relationship's also going to be shifting. So that does mean a new set of rules, a new set of rules for both of you, okay? Not just for Capricorn, but for you also. Alrighty, so that's what I'm seeing there coming up. So this is just get clear on what you want. Get clear on, how you're viewing Capricorn, and open up to receive as well for yourself, because you do have this big thing coming in. You already know Capricorn's hoping for your help or would appreciate your help. So if you want to take the initiative and try to reach out and help them, you can do that. But those of you who are really, really busy or really swamped, or you're just going through building your own little empire here, or it's been a ridiculously long time since you've heard from Capricorn and you're like, there's no way in hell I'm reaching out first. I hear you. I totally get that. Then just start doing your meditation and prepare, because you're going to be having this redoing your soul contract with this person in the near future. So this could be deciding, are we going to be friends? Are we going to be more than friends? Are we going to stay married? Are we going to split up? Are we going to work together? Are we going to keep in contact in our lives? And again, what are the rules? What are the terms? Okay, that's what it feels like to me. Okay, both of you are having a really big change, a really big life change is what it feels like to me. A good one, albeit a good one. Okay, my dears? Thank you so very much. I'm going to have the love videos for May up in a couple of days, and then later in the next few hours, you'll see that the weekly forecasts for the week ahead are starting to load. But I thank you so much for watching, comment,